Spring has this way of showing up, almost without us noticing. It isn't loud, it's just a quiet shift in the air, a kind of gentle readiness that invites us to do the same, to begin our own kind of renewal. So, let's talk about what it feels like to answer that call. On March 20th, the season officially changed. And you probably felt it, didn't you? Maybe you heard a few more birds or noticed the tiny buds on the trees. It's this subtle but absolutely undeniable signal from the world around us that a new cycle is beginning. And that's really the beautiful lesson from nature, isn't it? There's no big announcement. The flowers don't ask for our attention. They just appear. Renewal is just this quiet, powerful force that simply begins. And before we know it, something inside of us starts to tune into that very same rhythm. Now, what's so interesting is how much this applies to our own lives. We often expect our own growth to be this huge, dramatic event, some big decision or major turning point. But, more often than not, real change starts just like spring, with a quiet little shift that just asks us to join in. But while the world outside is waking up, our own spaces can tell a totally different story. Winter has a way of sticking around inside our homes, right? It's in those crowded shelves, in the decisions we keep putting off, in all the things we're still carrying long after their season is over. And this is where the whole idea of spring cleaning comes in. But let's just reframe it for a second. This isn't about punishing ourselves with a bunch of chores. Think of it more like preparation. We're just making room for the life that's quietly trying to begin. So, where do we even begin? Well, let's start somewhere simple, somewhere familiar. How about right near the doorway, where maybe there's a pair of shoes just sitting there waiting patiently. They hold the memory of movement, of a direction you once chose. Maybe pick up a pair that isn't worn out. They're not worn out, they're not broken at all. They're just paused. They represent a path you are on, a version of yourself that was stepping forward with purpose, a life direction that's just been on hold for a while. And right here, this is the real question that comes up. It's not really about the shoes, is it? It's about the path they were on. Does this journey, does this direction still belong to the person you are right now and the person you're hoping to become? And if you realize that your life has already quietly turned onto a new road, it's okay. It is perfectly okay to let them go. You can even thank them. Because every path we take, even one that wasn't meant for us forever, teaches us something about how to move forward. So as you place them into a donation box, just notice what happens. A small but very real space appears by the door. You see? You didn't just create space on the floor, you've created a little space in your future. Okay, let's go a little deeper into the home and you'll see how this feeling starts to build. Let's go to a closet, maybe a drawer, someplace where winter might still be hiding. You open it, and there it is, a heavy wool sweater, sitting right on top. As you hold it, you can almost feel the colder days it got you through. The person you were, they needed this warmth, this protection. But what about the person you're becoming? In the winters to come, will you still reach for the same kind of warmth? Or will you need something else? If the answer is no, if you know deep down that you'll reach for something different, then you can just thank it. This sweater served its purpose. It carried you through a hard season, and now its service is complete. It's not being thrown away, it's being honored. And as you put it in the box and close that drawer, just pause for a second. Feel that. The past hasn't been erased. Not at all. It's been acknowledged. It's been given its proper place. You're honoring what was without being held captive by it. So the journey continues. Let's move to another really symbolic space, the desk. It might have all these little stacks of paper holding the weight of old plans and drafts and ideas that never quite came to life. This part can be a little tough. As you sit there, you might feel this quiet sense of grief for the imagined lives that those papers represent. And that is so okay. This whole process isn't about ignoring that feeling. It's about letting yourself feel it and then gently creating some movement. As you start to sort through everything, shredding what needs to be shredded, recycling what's old, just remind yourself of this. You're not failing. You're not giving up. You're just allowing all of that energy to change its form. And as the surface of that desk starts to clear, something pretty amazing happens. The light in the room actually finds new places to land. And as the physical space clears, you'll feel an internal space clearing too. Your mind just feels a little bit lighter. See, this process isn't really limited to just shoes or papers. Spring doesn't just renew one branch on a tree, it moves through the whole thing. And this is like that. It's a gentle realignment of your relationship with everything around you, one little decision at a time. And then there's that moment. You're carrying the donation box toward the door. As you feel its weight in your hands, you might notice that something you can't see feels lighter inside you. Crossing that threshold becomes more than just a physical act. It's a quiet release of old promises and expired expectations.
One box down, room for new beginnings.
Back inside, maybe you wipe some dust off a window and let the sunlight pour in. You might feel your own breathing get a little deeper. And here's the real key. You didn't find clarity because you were chasing after it. You found it because you created room for it. You made space for renewal to come find you. Look around the room. It feels different, doesn't it? Quieter, but it's not empty. No, that's not the right word. The word is available. It's ready. Everything that's still here belongs to the life you're consciously, intentionally building. And that's the powerful part. That new space on the shelf, the clear surface of your desk, the room by the door, that's not just emptiness. Every single open space is an invitation. It's an invitation for a new life, a new energy, a new possibility to walk right in. So, this moment of cleaning, it's finished now. But the renewal, oh, that's just beginning. I'll leave you with this one question to carry with you. Tomorrow, when the morning light streams in and feels just a little bit different, a little more full of possibility, who will you be as you step into it?